George.
It's the blog segment. The blog. The blog.
If you don't mind, I'm going to go drink some bleach. I would.
Please do. I'll tell you where there is some.
I'm not going to say that because somebody said to inject cleaners. I'm not saying that. I was going to say that joke regardless.
Okay, well, I get it. It's a funny joke, Jim.
Thanks.
It's a funny joke.
I'm not really going to do
now,
that.
I'm going to talk about the PPP. Now, last Friday, right, the president signed the bill, and it's up and running again. I think the first round of the PPP, which stands for, so people don't know that I don't think I'm stuttering, right? The Paycheck Protection
It's just
program.
the P program.
Yeah,
It's just the paycheck program, but it's,
P cubed, and this is the program. Again, it was out on April 3rd was the first day. It lasted. The money was $349. Wait for it, $1 billion, and it went out in 14 days. There was a little bit of a disruption at the beginning. It was April 3rd on a Friday, and it took a couple of days for them to get it up and running in most banks. And to get the rules down because everybody didn't know what the rules were. It had just been passed the week before, March 27th. It passed the House and was signed by the president. And a week later, they were giving out the loans. Kind of unbelievable that our government can act that fast.
Not even mass corruption. Not even a smidgen of corruption.
And don't expect it in the PPP program either because there isn't any. Except for we keep hearing about. Some of these large companies who got a lot of money, but most of them
are giving it back.
They're giving it back.
Bad
and
PR.
Why are they giving? That's not only the bad PR because if you lied on the certification, there could be criminal charges brought against you.
Wasn't that supposed to be reserved for companies with less than
500
employees?
And so it's all how do you define that?
So
if you're a franchisee, they're
right.
different companies. So then and then they owe different. So yes, I get that, and that's how they got around it. Although now again, most of those are giving the money back. Here's a company the steakhouse. I'm not going to say which one. That they got $20 million. Well, if they give that money back, how many people that are going to get $50,000 or $100,000 or less than $150,000? That's kind of how they're categorizing it. How many people then could are going to be available that would not otherwise get the money? It's a sizable amount. I think there's enough people standing in line right now that's going to make this whole issue, this second round, go much faster than the 14 days. I'd be surprised if it lasts 14 days. What if there's a lot of people now? So if you don't have if you haven't put a application in, is it too late? The answer is probably, but you should still put one in. Why? Because if there's a lot of people standing in line, there'll probably be a third round.
God help us.
I know, God help us. I get it. And remember, this was only made for the 8 weeks, so we're going to be closed down for more than 8 weeks. It's not even.
That's
supposed to go back to February 15th.
That's a question, though, when you have some states staying closed way longer, because that's going to happen, and then there's some states reopening. Is there going to be a third round?
I think there will be a third round. But anyway, let's talk about how to give it forgiven. Because once you get the loan, right, this
is important.
That's only the first round. Right now, what are you going to do? Now you have to get the loan forgiven. If you don't get it forgiven, here's the terms. It's only a 1% interest rate, but it's for 2 years. So you're going to have to, and you have to start making payments after 6 months. So they're giving you a 6 months hiatus where you don't have to pay anything. Hopefully that you can get you can get that loan forgiven, and then you don't have to worry about the loan, the repayment. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is why you have to use the loan for the purposes that they gave it to you for. And it's called the Paycheck Protection Program because they're trying to protect the paychecks of your employees. And so now, again, if you're a 1099 employee, if you're a sole proprietor, you're the employee. So you have to pay yourself. That's easy to do. Yeah. But if I've seen companies that had laid off a lot of people and then got this PPP loan, what do they have to do? They have to hire them back. Right, you have to hire those people back. You can't use the money for anything else. Again, you can use it for other things. So we'll get to that. But at least 75% of the money that you got has to be used for payroll. So if you've laid people off, you're supposed to hire them back. Okay, so that's the first thing. You have to use 75% of the money must be used for payroll. So again, if I have a restaurant and I have a high rent, I've laid everybody off, I get the money and I pay my rent. You can't do that. You have to hire those people back. Now, what if they're not working? I can't open. Well, you still have to pay them, right? Instead of like unemployment. Now you have to understand how loan forgiveness can be reduced, because they could reduce how much. So if you can't prove where that money went, and that's the next thing, right? Then 100% of it won't be forgiven. Only some of it is going to be forgiven. And then you're going to be stuck paying back the rest of that. So the big thing now is accounting. Make sure that you're keeping good records about where the money is going, how much came in, and then where did it go. And make sure that you can document it, like you did with the loan, right? The first step of the loan was mostly you went to your bank's portal and they asked you some simple questions. You're like, oh, yeah, that was easy. And then the hard part came. Now, substantiation. We need this. We need that. We need this full document, that document, and get in line and make sure we have everything. And it's going to be the same when you start trying to get forgiven, right? You're going to have substantiation. You're going to have to go through the ringer and make sure that all the documents that you need are there. So, I'm going to mention it again, going back to the accounting, making sure your bookkeeping is right. This is the big problem that most small businesses have. And it's not, again, most people are very good at what they do. They're just not very good at the paperwork. But you can't get this loan forgiven without good paperwork. So pay attention to it. Because you're going to get caught paying this loan back otherwise, and you may not be able to do that. And then, but here's the good part about the loan. If you default on it, you did not give a personal guarantee. So that's a good one. They can't come after you personally for that loan. But again, you still owe it. They just can't sue you for it. And then here's the big thing now. Every lender is going to be different. So pay attention to what your lender's asking you for. And if they ask you for a document, give it to them. Don't question it about it. Well, why do you need this? Why do you need that? They need it. And they won't give you they won't forgive the loan unless you give it to them. So give it to them. So that's the thing I want you to know. Again, keep good paperwork and follow the rules. And that's, then you'll get your loan forgiven.
That's what's great about Opem Tax Advocates. You guys really are there for small businesses and help people understand the insides and outs with these loans. So if you have any questions, 312-664-6649 or visit chicagotaxteam.com. It's going to be your hub. They'll fight the IRS every Wednesday. Attorney Stephen Leahy and I are doing a webinar, so you should sign up at federalcoronaloans.com and get information that you need for your business. Oh, I'm looking right now. I got to go to commercial break. I'll be right back here on AM 560.
The Answer.